Hello students, welcome to a new video of studying Spanish. Today's video is going to be a little bit different because I'm out here in my rooftop. It's a wonderful afternoon in Mexico City, and today we're going to speak about demonstrative pronouns, and I'm going to show you how the demonstrative pronouns work in Spanish. Words like this, that, those over there. Basically, the demonstrative pronouns are words that we use to indicate how close or how far an object is from us. Like in English, you would use this, that, or those, etc. The first thing to know in Spanish is that we have three different kinds of demonstrative pronouns. I'm going to add a chart here on the left-hand side of the screen so you guys can see the demonstrative pronouns in Spanish. In Spanish, we have esto, which means this, eso, which means that, and aquel, which means that over there. It indicates that something is very far. It indicates great distance. Now, the demonstrative pronouns are going to match genders. So as you can see in the chart here, if you're speaking about a masculine object, you would use este. For example, you would say este carro, this car. But if you were speaking about a feminine object, you would use esta. For example, esta chica, this girl. So it's very important to remember that the demonstrative pronouns will match genders as well. So how do we use them? Super simple, guys. So first of all, as I was saying, we have esto. Esto, which means this. And we use it just like in English to speak about things that are at hand's reach, things that you can touch with your hands from where you're at. For example, I would say this shirt, esta camisa. And of course, I'm using the feminine because camisa is feminine. So esta camisa, this shirt, it's at hand's reach. So we use this, esta. Now in Spanish, we have two different ways of saying that. The first one that we're going to discuss is ese, that. So when we speak about something that is in the same physical space as you, definitely not at hand's reach, you cannot reach it with your hands, otherwise you would use this, este. When you speak about something that is in the same physical space as you are in, you will use ese. For example, here in my roof, you guys can see that on the back side of the image, we have my wall. It's in the same physical space as I'm at. I cannot touch it, it's still far away. But since it's in the same physical space as I'm at, I would say esa. So in Spanish, wall is pared. I would say esa pared, that wall. It's feminine, so I'm using the feminine form. And I'm using esa because it's in the same physical space as I'm at. And in Spanish, we also have aquel or aquella, which is like saying that over there in English. It's indicating that something is in a different physical space from where you're at. For instance, you guys can see that on the back side of the image, there's a building. Very far away in the distance, we have a building. In Spanish, you're going to use aquel or aquella when you speak about something that is in a different physical space from where you're at. For example, if you're looking out a window and looking at the street right next to your house, or if you're looking at a building in the distance, that's when you use aquel. So in Spanish, building is edificio, so I would say aquel edificio, that building over there. So aquel also means that, but it's used to indicate a great distance. It's used to indicate that something is very far away from where you're at, not in the same physical space, guys. Now, taking a look back at the image here again, guys, you might notice something interesting, and that is that we have three different kinds of pronouns. For example, with este, this, we have este, which is the masculine, esta, which is the feminine, and we also have esto, which is the indefinite. So when you do not know the gender of the object that you're speaking about, you're going to use esto. For instance, imagine that you grab a strange object and you're unsure what it is. So you would ask somebody, ¿Qué es esto? What is this? And you're using esto because you don't even know what the object is, so you don't know if it's feminine or masculine. Same thing would happen with that. We have eso. So if you do not know the gender of what you're speaking about, you would use eso. For instance, let's imagine that you're looking at a shadow moving around in the woods. You wouldn't know if it's a male or a female, so you would say, ¿Qué es eso? What is that? And you're using eso, which is indefinite. Doesn't have a gender, guys. So now you guys have learned how the demonstrative pronouns work in Spanish. A great way of practicing them, guys, is just looking out your window when you're driving your car, looking at things around you, and think about how you would say them with the demonstrative pronouns. For example, how would you say that car or this man, or this neighborhood, or those boys over there, or that park in that street. Think about how you would start using them. Try to translate them into Spanish. Try to put together the sentences, the phrases in your head. And this is going to be a great exercise to start learning the demonstrative pronouns. If you guys have any questions or any doubts, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. I'll be more than glad to help you out with any questions or doubts. And as always, I will see you for our next lesson of studying Spanish. Adios.